Hello, my name is Cheryl Ramos, and today I will be presenting an overview of the Workability Central website, the Power of Workability. www.workabilitycentral.com is a database that sites can or projects can use in order to share information amongst the Workability program. So you will get information from region managers, committees, and individual projects, as well as information from advisory. When you access Workability Central, you'll type in www.workabilitycentral.com in the address bar. You will get general website access information. If you are not, if you do not have a Workability Central account, you will not be able to access certain parts of the Workability program, such as statewide committee reporting, region pages, which includes calendars, program information, and training. So let's go to Workability Central. As you can see, Workability Central has lots of information on its page. The first thing you will know is that each region is assigned a link down below. And so if you were signed in with your Workability Central account and you were with Region 1, you could click Region 1 and you would be able to open up Region 1's page. You would see their information on the left-hand side. If you did not have a Workability Central account, you would not be able to get into that site. As you scroll down this page, it'll give you the history of Workability 1. And then if you are needing assistance with your Workability Central account, such as you've forgotten your password, or you do not have a Workability Central account, then you can click on your region, and then you would be given a form to fill out. Your first name, your last name, your project's number, your region number, an email, a phone number, and then what type of assistance you might need, and then you would submit it. On the left-hand side, you will see different links. So the first one is all about workability and the program management, such as your mission statement, program descriptions, ed code, which is assigned to the workability project, descriptions such as about ed code, the values of workability, what workability expects from projects, the vision of workability, and a flow chart. The flow chart's very important for projects to know. When a project is having a question or some difficulties, the first thing the project should do is reach out to either local workability programs near them or a committee if it has to do with something the committee might overlook or oversee. And then the committee representatives will take it to the region manager, or you could go right to a region manager. The region manager, if they can't find the answer, will take it to advisory or to one of the committee chairs. And then they, in turn, if can't come up with the answer, would go to the advisory chair. Advisory chair then would try to research the answer, or they would take it to CDE. We ask that local projects do not contact CDE directly, as most of the time the answers can be found within your small project. You will see a copy of the bylaws that govern the workability advisory, as well as how different positions are elected and what their roles are. And this is in draft form for currently. You also see some definitions of the workability array of services, a little more in depth than what we see on the actual database. Scrolling down to the bottom. The next one, number 1, is advisory. And advisory is just a little bit more of a in-depth explanation of the advisory committees. Who makes up the advisory committees? There are 5 regions. Each region has 2 region managers, and then there are 8 committees. And so those are the people that make up the advisory committee, as well as a advisory chair, co-chair, and secretary. What is the role of advisory and the advisory executive committee? How the chair and the secretary's roles, as well as another copy of the bylaws. Under Region tab, you will see the map showing the different workability programs and the way that they are broken up into different areas. You will see the responsibilities of the region managers, as well as region alt managers, and then the executive committee of the regions. You will also eventually see a region manager's handbook, should you choose to be part of that group. The next section is on committees. And so the different 8 committees that make up the advisory, as well as what the committee chair is responsible for, the elections, and then the representatives and alternates that make up those committees. So our first committee that we come to is the Bell Committee. And the Bell Committee, most of you know, is the one who puts together the Bell newsletter, article submissions of students working within the workability program, or employers who support workability as well. And you will find copies of the latest Workability Bell newsletter, as well as testimonials from students, parents, and agencies or business or educators. The next one we'll look at is FTN's website or section. FTN, you might know, provides a lot of information and training resources, such as the Employment First Trifold, Self-Advocacy Trifold, and then the different flyers and announcements, newsletters that are produced by FTN. Lots of great information here. The next section is our GRC, which is our Government Relations Committee. And they spend a lot of time looking at legislation. They provide the fast facts, information about how many projects are there in workability and how many students are placed in subsidized employment as well as unsubsidized employment. And they spend a lot of time researching legislation that might affect our workability program, as well as information that could be used to enhance our programs. The next committee is HSS, which is your Human Support Service Committee. And they have been very busy over the last year and a half working with projects to get their local partnership agreements into written form, and also helping projects connect with groups so that they can get their local partnership agreement done. There was a survey put out so that they would know who is in the process, who hasn't gotten started, who needs help. So that's HSS. HSS also has what we call the transition service cards. These are informations about adult day programs, CalWorks, Department of Rehabilitation, and you can use these cards to personalize them for your region. So who do they contact in your area if they want to get services through an adult day program, as well as educational training, adult schools, information for families such as jury duty, child fine, foster care. Each one of these are a link where you can personalize the card so that it fits your area. And there's a lot of cards here, so there's a lot of information. And then some directions also on how to edit these cards for your program. The next committee is mentoring. Mentoring's job is to help projects that either are for people who are first starting out with workability, new projects, or new region managers, or new project contacts, anybody that needs help in running their workability program. So they're very busy. The next committee is SRT, which is our state and regional training committee. They help with facilitating trainings, conferences, and making sure that we're getting information out to all projects within the workability family. And the next committee is the TEC Committee. Their job is to monitor the CDE's website database, where we all put in our information about our projects or our grant, submission of grant reports, timelines, and training on setting up WorkabilityCentral accounts as well. And the last one is wage, labor, and safety. And labor, and safety, sorry, help programs get information in. They have the Stay Safe work curriculum attached to them, labor laws that might affect students working, the new sexual harassment information that we now must use, as well as printable safety curriculum, and then other ways to keep youths safe at work. As we move down the page here, you will get to the program review. And so our program review reports are, they will consist of timelines of when reports are to be completed. You might also pay attention to your workability database, as timelines are there, and those usually change first before they do on the WorkabilityCentral. Guidelines for someone new to workability, information about the end of the year reporting, and guides on how to write your end of the year report. So you will see the Ed Code rubrics. This is what we write our end of the year report on, the 9 elements. They will give you some help in how to meet those elements within your program. Here is the timeline that you will see. And it does say dates are subject to change by CDE. So always check here, as well as the database for dates that might change as well. And then don't hesitate to reach out to your mentoring program or committee. They will certainly guide you in how to find information. The next one is the project contact and staff guidelines. Please note that the Google Docs can only be viewed when you're logged into Workability Central. So if you're not able to open something up, you may not be logged into your Workability Central account. Here we will have information about project contact, who is the project contact, who is responsible for attending all mandatory meetings and trainings, information about your fiscal and budget, and the year runs from July 1st to June 30th. There are several reports that are due mid-year, meeting attendance requirement, and then some guidelines on authorizations of using workability grant funds. Some information on Workability One students who have been served and placed and what those mean. And also the array of services. So if you wanted to see a breakdown of the array of services, this is what most of us have seen over the years for tracking purposes of students. This one is the high school. The next section is on data collection. What data are we collecting? Student information. When are we doing this? It's always best to collect your data during the year and not wait to enter it into the workability database where we are doing our reports, because the system can get bogged down when everybody's doing their information towards the end of the year. So we suggest that you also enter that data all year long. And then why do we enter the data? What are we collecting? As well as the follow-up forms and follow-up instructions and ways to collect your data. And this is a training presentation about your workability database. The next section on the left-hand side is just a glossary of terms used within special ed and workability. And so if you have someone you need to explain some terms to, this would be a great place to research and get some information. The next section is Ask the Chair. Here is a forum to address questions that are essential to the Workability One program. Currently, Chris Leroy is the chair and Shauna Pacheco is the co-chair. So here you will find information where people may have already asked a question that you have. So if you have questions about, let's say, funding, you would click on that and you might find out that how much carryover is a program allowed to carry of their funds, and the answer would be none. So if you have a question, you might be able to find your answer here on Ask the Chair. The next section is the workability logos and certificates and cards. These logos are in a PDF form, I believe, and you can download them to use on a variety of things. If you were putting together a flyer or an informational page, there are some certificates for students, certificates to be given to businesses, and also thank you cards that you can use to thank businesses who have you worked with a workability program or your workability program, or have offered services in some way. So that is your logos and cards. The next one is our workability media, and we have, I believe, several videos here that you can use. And I'm just going to play a clip real quick for you of this one here.
Educate. Employ, empower. As we remember our first jobs, how did we feel? The excitement is awesome. I just got hired my first job. I'm really happy. 1 in 5 people entering the workforce will have some form of disability. That is the pool that is coming into our workforce. And why wouldn't we want to embrace that?
I would encourage kids to do workability because it teaches you that you can succeed in the real world, and it teaches you that you are not your disability.
School is part of your life, but it's a short part in the grand scheme. And then you have the whole rest of your life, and you should be working.
Walk is really important, and I feel like it keeps you busy and happy. It has proven to me as a parent that I have a son who's employable.
We're an education system. We're giving kids opportunities to learn. The biggest footprint that we have in this state are all the pre-employment services that we provide.
We don't just get students and throw them right into the job space.
We have different classes about being prepared to do the job.
Activities such as a mock interview. How do you answer questions?
How do you get along with your coworkers?
How do you engage with customers? Being on time is critical.
What's it going to take?
Workability has allowed districts to be very flexible and very passionate.
Workability helps those students become who they were meant to be. I really like working office and with students.
I really, really knew in my heart that I wanted to work with kids.
I always want to be my own boss. They decided to make my own business, making shirts and make money.
There are so many jobs out there. And what is the one thing that touches your heart? They have such a wide variety of options. So you can have your own business. You can work out in the community. They work so hard to be creative to make that perfect fit.
I know I started Safeway. There was also kind of some new skills that came up right then, like make sure I get everything done in a timely manner and how to prioritize.
Working with the students through the workability program has helped me to make each employee thrive in what they know how to do best.
Workability provides all the economic support.
You don't have to pay the workman's comp insurance.
We're paying the student's salary.
It's an excellent opportunity. I have been doing it for so many years that I enjoy it.
It's an additional recruitment avenue for us, which is one of the most costly things that we do.
Here, we know what we're getting. We're getting a well-prepared candidate. We're getting someone who's enthusiastic and eager.
They're motivated, and happy and motivated employees want to stay employed because they love their job.
It's trust for me. That is my number one thing that I'm most thankful for workability is sending somebody that I will not have to worry about.
It's not us doing community service. There's a value for us being a work site, and there is a huge value to being a part of this. How has it changed your life to work? How does it make you feel? Makes you feel happy?
I like this job. I work at parts department, sales department, and service department. I'm gonna be happy once I get my paycheck. I feel like I'm gonna be proud of myself.
I feel like this job has totally made me think way differently about myself and made me feel like I can do it.
I like to learn more experience and new skills. I am really good in role model.
When I sell these TED shirts, I'm not shy.
Workability believed in Toby. That rubbed off. Toby believes now that he can do it, and he's been a really great success. It really made the difference for Matt in becoming the great worker he is now.
Yeah.
It's been an absolutely wonderful experience, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Workability One provides job awareness, training, and job placement for over 100,000 students. 300 school districts and well over 9,000 employers in California participate in this program. Workability One has been around for over 30 years, making a huge difference to us students. Students like me, and me, and me,
And me.
and me.
So that's just one of the videos that we have on this website. And so there's one for you to present to school boards or administration, one for teachers, one for parents, and then one for employers. And so you will see those there, as well as students. The next section is the general transition resource information. So these are websites that are provide information that you might want to use. So there's national websites, there's websites that are strictly for California, and then there are resource websites as well that you can use to help your program be successful. And then the next section is your different domains. So we have calendars, we have region websites, we have groups. So if you were part of Region 3 and you wanted to look at their calendar, you would click on it. And if you were logged in, you would be able to see anything that they had placed on their calendar. I don't believe they have anything on their calendar, but Region 1 has a meeting on September 2nd, and you would know that. Also, advisories calendars and committee calendars, and then websites for those regions, as well as our partner WorkSafe program that we work with. The next section is your CVS. This is, if you use CVS as a business partner, they have their own set of rules and regulations. And so it's always best to check here for any kind of updates that might be. But we used to have an MOU that was used statewide, and now programs are advised to create their own MOU with their own local project district with CVS. And so there are some general paperwork that needs to be done along with using CVS. So you can check with mentoring, or you can check with your region manager, and they will guide you on where to go. And then our last section is on the arrays of services. This is the how we help students gain employment skills, training, education. And so the one of the great things about this program is the array of services. We have the different array of services, and this is that sheet that kind of shows the different services that workability can provide, general education can provide, special ed, TPP, DOR. And so these would be, you could use as tracking sheets for a student if you wanted to. But these are the array of services, and this is the high school level, and then they also have the middle school level. You'll also see definitions, and then the great thing about this is we have something here called the Padlet resources, and this seems to be a great resource for many projects. So if you were looking for information on, let's say we wanted to do career vocational assessments and you needed some help there, so you could click on these and you would see an array of different types of assessments that can be used with different students. So you could use that. You could also look at, let's say we were looking at a career awareness activity. And then there are different activities that you could look into and use if you wanted to provide career awareness activities to students. This is a really great resource. If you were looking for job retention training, we have a few items there. Self-advocacy and disability awareness training. And we have some lessons and some information there. This is a really great section of the website as well. And that is the Workability Central database. Hopefully you'll have some time to log in with your Workability Central account. And if you do not have one, then you can request it by going to the Workability Central account or a database and entering in your information in that form. I hope this has been helpful to kind of explain the Workability Central website and give you some opportunity to go in and explore some of the different aspects of it. Thank you.